will this Super Bowl hangover be for the Niners? How are they going to get over this? I mean, all the Tylenol in the world won't help this.
I think it's brutal.
So let me describe the window. For the past 5 years, it was wide open. It's cracked now.
Is there a chance that the 49ers miss their window?
I can confidently say, whatever the Niners are doing, I don't like.
In 2025, the San Francisco 49ers did something no team had ever done. They quietly sold 6% of their franchise for over $500 million to 3 Silicon Valley families you've probably never heard of. That single deal instantly set a new world record for a sports team transaction, leapfrogging the Broncos, which sold for $4 billion, and the Commanders, which went for $6 billion. Even a small slice of the 49ers now outranks what full teams used to cost. But who are these families, and why are some of the world's most powerful tech investors suddenly buying their way into the NFL? This isn't just a football story. It's about how tech and Wall Street capital are quietly reshaping the league, behind the scenes where fans can't see it. The first slice of the 49ers' hidden cap table leads straight to one of Silicon Valley's most brain-powered bloodlines. Vinod Khosla, the Sun Microsystems co-founder who helped architect the era of open systems, has spent decades backing frontier technologies. AI, climate innovation, deep tech experiments most investors wouldn't touch. His son, Neal Khosla, took that instinct and channeled it into AI-driven healthcare, building companies designed to rewire diagnostics and patient modeling. Together, their family lands roughly 3.1% of the 49ers, worth about $260 to $270 million. For them, this isn't a vanity play or a local pride purchase. It fits a pattern: long horizon bets on industries where prestige, data, and future leverage converge. To outsiders, it looks like a wealthy tech family buying into a beloved team. But context matters. This dynasty doesn't collect assets. They assemble ecosystems. Their portion is the single largest chunk of the 6.2% minority pool, giving them uncommon weight inside a stake that technically lacks control but carries strategic presence. And the Khoslas are only the opening move, because the next family on this list shows how cloud-era money is slipping into the NFL even quieter. Next is Byron Deeter, one of the sharpest minds in SaaS and cloud. At Bessemer, he's helped scale the category-defining companies that modern tech stacks depend on. Before that, he played rugby at Calla, a small detail but one that hints at his competitive wiring and ties to the Bay Area sports environment. Alongside him is Allison Deeter, part of the family's piece of the ownership group, positioned quietly but intentionally. Their 2.1% share, valued at roughly $175 to $185 million, is often misread publicly.
The only way that makes sense for either of us is if you can efficiently deploy that capital and achieve a multiple gain in value as a result.
Fans see local families supporting their team. Analysts know better. This is disciplined capital allocation by investors who typically enter industries right before they reshape. The cloud ecosystem that powered global SaaS growth is now redirecting a slice of its capital into the NFL. Not for emotion, for positioning. But the Deeters are just the midpoint. The next stake ties the 49ers directly into a tech billionaire web most fans never knew existed. The final thread links to ICONIQ, the capital hub favored by tech's ultra-wealthy founders. Will Griffith, a partner at the firm, focuses on growth equity for companies already on steep upward trajectories. His wife, Calla Griffith, is part of the family representation inside the stake. Their 1% share, worth about $80 to $90 million, is small in percentage but outsized in implications. ICONIQ is not merely an investment firm, it's actually a private gateway between hundreds of growth stage companies and the billionaire class behind them. Through this single percentage point, the 49ers connect indirectly to a network that includes Mark Zuckerberg and many of the Valley's most powerful operators. So on paper, it's 3 families. But on spreadsheets, it's a network of hundreds of companies and tens of billions in capital quietly entering the NFL. The 49ers officially confirmed the new minority owners through a press release naming the Khoslas, Deeters, and Griffiths. Media outlets quickly reported an implied valuation of over $8.5 billion for the franchise, with the 6.2% stake generating roughly $510 to $535 million in cash. For context, the Broncos sold for $4.65 billion in 2022, and the Commanders sold for $6.05 billion in 2023. Even though only a fraction of the team changed hands, the 49ers transaction instantly set a new benchmark in sports franchise valuations. Breaking down the ownership, the York family's control fell from about 97% pre-sale to roughly 91% after the 6.2% transaction. After a later 3.2% stake sale to Pete Briger Jr. of Fortress Investment Group, their ownership adjusted to approximately 88%, leaving them firmly in control while integrating outside investors. A simple calculation shows 6.2% of $8.5 billion is about $527 million, which splits into roughly $260 to $270 million for the Khosla's 3.1%, $175 to $185 million for the Deeter's 2.1%, and $80 to $90 million for the Griffith's 1%. These numbers, while straightforward mathematically, reveal the scale of capital quietly entering the league and the precise way wealth from Silicon Valley and Wall Street is being funneled into the team. Even these numbers only tell part of the story. There's more context in the market and stadium dynamics that helps explain why this valuation makes sense. The 49ers valuation is reinforced by more than ownership math. On-field performance consistently puts the team in playoff contention, enhancing brand value. Levi's Stadium, combined with Bay Area affluence, generates strong ticket and event revenue, with ticket sales alone exceeding $170 million annually, ranking at or near the top of the NFL. Corporate sponsorships, premium seating, and local fan wealth amplify the financial profile. NFL media rights deals further inflate the franchise's value, creating a cash flow profile that rivals some of the largest media companies in the country. For the fans, it is a football team. To its owners, it is a cash-generating media asset in one of the richest sports markets on earth. And even with these numbers, the full picture isn't complete, because with the NFL opening the door to private equity, the next moves could dramatically reshape ownership structures across the league. In August 2024, the NFL formally passed a resolution allowing select private equity and institutional funds to acquire up to 10% of any franchise. These stakes must remain passive and non-voting, with strict vetting, minimum fund sizes, multi-year lockups, and caps on ownership. This structural shift fundamentally altered who could participate in NFL ownership, creating a legal framework for outside capital to quietly enter without challenging existing control. The timing of the Khosla, Deeter, and Griffith acquisition was no coincidence. Their 6.2% stake came immediately after the rule change, while Pete Briger Jr.'s 3.2% acquisition followed under the same parameters. Together, these minority positions demonstrate how Silicon Valley and Wall Street investors began using newly available avenues to place significant sums into high-profile sports franchises. The York family retained operational control, yet almost 1/8 of the franchise had quietly been integrated with sophisticated, highly networked capital. The league quietly relaxed its rules. Months later, Silicon Valley walked right through the door with $500 million. It does make you wonder, if this tiny slice is already valued at $500 million, what might happen when a full franchise actually hits the market? The 49ers deal, a record $8.6 billion implied valuation for just 6.2% sold, is the clearest proof yet that NFL franchises have become the ultimate tech founder portfolio asset. Scarce, inflation-proof, cash flow rich, and layered with media rights, stadium real estate, global branding, and proprietary fan data. Unlike Ballmer's full $2 billion Clippers takeover of the Clippers or Mark Cuban's $285 million Mavericks buy to flip, these buyers spent approximately $532 million total for prestige, suite access, and league voting rights with zero operational burden. For them, the team is a low-maintenance, high-status diversifier that still outperforms most VC funds. More importantly, Silicon Valley money is no longer passive. With founders and top VCs now on the cap table, expect faster rollouts of AI-driven pricing, computer vision performance tools, personalized fan apps, and global streaming plays. The 49ers, already the NFL's tech darling at Levi's Stadium, just plugged directly into the Valley's talent and capital network, turning a football team into a full-stack tech platform with 70,000-seat hardware. So the key questions arise. Will these investors stop at minority stakes, or is a full tech-led ownership group inevitable? How long before multiple franchises see similar investors quietly entering, each integrating their networks, capital, and influence into the league? If one team's minority slice can fetch $500 million, the potential value of a full team under these conditions becomes staggering. The 49ers might just be the first big test. Quietly, across the league, similar conversations are already happening. In a future episode, we'll follow the money into the next team that tech billionaires are circling. If you want to stay ahead of these hidden financial moves and see how the world of sports is being quietly reshaped, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us for the next Ghost Ledgers investigation. You won't want to miss it.